Thank you very much. Thank you all. Yeah, Amen. Okay, so we are at the end of the top section on page Lamed Aleph. There's one piece in the parentheses, 2 lines from the bottom, that we skipped. Since we have the rule that we don't skip, so we'll try to go back what we missed and discuss it briefly to get the point what is in that parentheses. There's an important principle in terms of oil versus keli. Since the oil is mislabish in the keli, and yet we say that they are in totally 2 different realities. And we have seen it, we have shown it, but what is behind this profound difference, this fundamental difference? And the principle in this is that the oil relates not to the effect of the oil, and not to the quality of the oil, what it is about. You asked me, what is the oil about? The oil is about its source, not about itself. Whereas a keli is about itself. So even if the oil and the keli are saying the same thing, but they're saying the same thing from 2 different angles, from 2 different principles. Like we have in our muscle of the host. No matter what the host gives, what is the central union in this relationship with the host and guest? It is the presence of the host himself, not how that expresses itself.
Wait a second. The oil is about its source, and the keli is about
about in itself.
Itself.
But the motion with the kaila, taking out water, cup taking out water. So what's that about the kaila? It's not about bringing out the water.
It's function. It's exactly what it is. It's function. And it is Marave or Mashke. We're learning the Sikha this week as Friday night. Mom is the same thing.
And what I forgot what and what's the oil on a cup? Not the oil. The oil on slavish bakali.
The oil on slavish bakali is the fact that this is done, yes, to facilitate, to make it easy to drink. But why do you want to make it easy to drink? Because there is a human being that has to be respected. He should bend his hand out to drink. That's not respectful. That's not a human being. We have discussed this, the many Misholim, so we don't have to go back. The most difficult thing to understand in this entire discussion, and yet we must, what does it mean that this chochmah is present in the very source? In other words, before it even goes into a functional arena, where there is something to be gained by having chochmah. The very reality itself has meaning from chochmah. Like we said, there is chochmah stimah. Chochmah stimah means concealed chochmah. Concealed chochmah means that this chochmah has not yet been exposed to the outside, to the world. If it hasn't been exposed to the world, so what's the point of the chochmah? What do you gain by knowing more than by being? So this question came up quite a while ago. And he pointed out a very interesting thing. What the Mishnah says, Chaviv Odom Nivra B'Tselem. Odom is very beloved because in Nivra B'Tselem he was created B'Tselem. He was not created as part of the world, but reflecting his creator, B'Tselem Maliki. So that's big enough. That's what the human being is. He says no. There's an additional, an extra step to this, and that is Chiba Yisera. The extra Chiba is in the fact that he was informed of the fact that he knows that Yiva B'Tselem. What does that change? That he knows. So this is something which everyone has to reflect in his own seichel, because only a bar seichel can understand this, and everybody is a bar seichel. It cannot be expressed in words.
B'Tselem is to his image.
Yeah, in his image. And he's reflecting on that. So we have encountered this thing in this Nidasle when we first discussed the whole principle of the difference between B'rum Shebiyam and B'rum Shebiyabosh. See, this explained that B'rum Shebiyam and all the time connected and part of their source. Cannot be anything greater in their relationship to the source than Brum Shubiyam. They can't even break away for a moment. Their whole activity is within their source. Brum Shubiyam Bosha are standalone entities. Yeah, but they also know their source. They understand their source. They relate to their source. They appreciate their source, but they're not part of it. And yet, he's saying Brum Shubiyam Bosha, in real terms, are superior to Brum Shubiyam. When Brum Shubiyam, whatever they are, they don't know to appreciate it. They are given the opportunity to appreciate it. Brum Shubiyam Bosha are given the opportunity, and they have the ability to appreciate it. And now, have you with me so far? The question comes up: how does a bria, a created entity, have the ability to appreciate its creator? If it is part of the creator, so that's what it is. But if we say that it can appreciate it within its own being, how is that possible?
Because Hashem made him that he should have a sense of his own. That's that symptom that he should feel his own materials.
The start when a person has one way and gets inner strength to go the right way, he realizes something deeper to himself inside of him.
So this is the phenomenal thing that we say that the human being is an atzmi. He is a real presence. His presence cannot be identified on a functional level. This is something that we should be able to understand because we are human beings, but we have that chochmah. It cannot be expressed in words, it can only be demonstrated. Where is the demonstration? In many things. We said many times, only human being can have ownership of part of the world. The world doesn't belong to the creature, it belongs to the creator. How can you own a piece of the world? That is only due to the fact that your presence in the world, in a manner of speech, is as true as that of the creators. This is due to the fact that Nivra B'Tselem, but not just Nivra B'Tselem, Neidas Leish Nivra B'Tselem. If Nivra B'Tselem, but he doesn't know it, so then he's still not a real etzem, not a real presence. The Creator knows that Nivra B'Tselem. But Neidas Leish Nivra B'Tselem is a completely different thing. The Neidas Leish Nivra B'Tselem means that he was entrusted with this knowledge. Let's understand what that means. A creature, no matter how fine and how great, if its appreciation of things is due to how it tastes him, how he feels about it, he cannot be fully trusted, because he may take things which are out of context. Like we said, many times the halacha says that a child, or even a semi-adult, up until the age of 20, cannot appreciate what real estate is.
What?
He doesn't appreciate what real estate is, what land is. He appreciates many things. When he looks at a piece of real estate, he immediately translates it in terms of dollars and cents. And dollars and cents are translated in terms of how can I benefit from it? How can I use it? In terms of long-term investment, so to speak, or real estate, something that is permanent. Who cares about permanency? I need enjoy myself tomorrow, or right now. Or who cares about permanence? Who cares about permanence? Not the human being, but his chochmah cares about permanence. His seichel cares about permanence. Let's take a very simple illustration of this. You have to stop. You have a father and a son. And today, I'll take a step further. This is even translated in terms of somebody, a therapist, and somebody who needs therapy. So a father and a son, the father expresses his connection and his relation. What? He's concerned about his son by showing him how much he cares about him and how he wants to fulfill all of his needs and so forth. Anything he asks for, he gives him. Where is the real expression of father and son? It is where the father craves and does everything to set his son to stand on his own feet. That's the real appreciation. That's the real reality. The reason I meant to mention about therapy because I'm involved in this. They don't know to focus on that. They make you feel good. Thank you very much. This is in the chochmah. There is not a tangible aspect in the human being that makes him stand independently on his own feet. Like we explain all the time, that even physically, when you say human being stands on 2 feet, stands on his own 2 feet, which is physically irrational, abnormal, unnatural. And yet, That's what he prefers. Tell me, you don't have to stand. You can crawl on 4.
I'm trying to just see if I'm catching the point here. This standing, the stance, the human stance, is counterintuitive, and it relates to chochmah, and it's less metzius, it's more about source, and it relates inside because how did we get into this?
It says, "B'shorshi." This is in the parenthesis. It was introduced in the parenthesis. It says, "In the very source, it's b'chinas chochmah."
In the very source of
Not only in the gilui, in expression. In the very source, it's b'chinas chochmah. It's in b'chinas chochmah. We can say parenthesis is inside. But Zois Gufa, the very fact that the oir is superior in essence than the keli and than the substance in keli is due to the fact that fisher gam b'shorshoi hu b'chinas chochmah.
third wide line from the bottom. Line starts.
The parenthesis that we skipped. But b'shorshoi it is also b'chinas chochmah. Not only on the express level, but in the very source it is also b'chinas chochmah. V'ha'oir, and the oir hu rag ha'ora mimenu. The oil is only ha'ora of the chochmah, of the real thing. The real thing is b'chinas chochmah. What is the bechina of chochmah? Like we said, chochmah, there is an element of chochmah, it's called chochmah stimor, a concealed chochmah. A chochmah that has not yet tasted the whole mitzias of world. What's the point of that chochmah? We all know that chochmah is defined in Chassidus as the principle of bitul. What occurs as a result of bitul? As a result of bitul, you can appreciate without having a tangible knowledge of what you appreciate. Truth per se. What is it about? Only chochmah has that type of terminology.
Of what? Of identifying truth.
Truth, not truth. Truth that can be translated in terms of true. This is true. No, pure truth. That's what the Rambam says. Emes, Asher Belikim Emes. You cannot identify it in any other way.
If it would be identifiable, then it wouldn't be that much of bitul. Where is bitul coming in here?
Bitul comes in is that only through bitul can you relate to this? Can you appreciate this? Can you accept it?
Why?
Because if you are a mitzias, you need a mitzias that will affect you. That's why I mentioned bitul. Bitul means it shows that what does it really do? Something that it cannot experience on its own mitzias, because it's other mitzias.
Just
one moment. Now that we got to this point, perhaps we can see the next step. This is the important thing. In the bitul is a pshat. This is chochmah. That chochmah can see not the way things are touching me, the way I receive it, but what is given to me. We said before, the most important thing in chochmah is the giver, the presence of the host, which we cannot take. We can even as we speak, all over and over, we cannot explain what that is. It's non-intangible. There's nothing to take there. How do you take it ultimately? With chochmah, with the principle of truth in yourself. This is what we said. The human being, Chibur said in the Das, like the human being was given a level of truth, and part with his Creator.
Rabbi Paltiel?
Just 1 second. I want to complete this thing. This is why the human being has full, free choice. He deems himself totally independent. He can be any place. Yes, Baruch.
So, you're explaining the parenthesis, yeah?
Yes.
I'm sorry I missed the first 2 seconds here. It says V'zayis Gufa. What's the Zayis Gufa it's referring to there?
The Holy Gufa refers to the fact that the oil, we said, the oil, as a result of his chlapshus in the keli, he becomes like the keli.
Yes.
On its own, it remains completely above the keli. But it can be mislabish in the keli. And as a result of mislabish in the keli, it actually acquires the contours and the quality of the keli. V'zois gufa. That fact, he said that the oil can be mislabish in the keli, is due to the fact that even b'shoshe hu b'bchinas chochmah.
Who b'bchinas
the oil
refers to
the oil.
The oil. And what you just said, this capacity for chochmah to take what's being given, independent of what it would otherwise think it's receiving. I think you used the word das in it. You didn't? Did you use
One
the word
second,
das there?
1 second, Bill. I have to excuse myself. I want to say Kedusha. I missed this one. All right, not Zoicha. In other words, the whole principle of his lapsus and being able to relate is already within the shoyrish, it's more shoyrish also. Yeah.
It's Pashut Shvat. I just the ruck can expand a deep understanding of that the analogy of a person standing.
Oh yeah.
Does that represent chochmah because I try to understand for myself. Does that represent chochmah because when a person stands, if he starts being dignified, it also gives him, makes him when he's standing up, he's ready to do things, like the creator, so to speak. Now I want to see the marshal to it.
No, the standing means total independence. You can't explain what you're holding on to when you stand. I stand because I am.
Because of?
I am.
Oh.
Why is it chochmah?
What?
Why is it chochmah?
That's what chochmah is. Bitul. Just the reality itself.
Like the AyinBase is without rhyme or reason. So
Not tradition.
yeah, I mean the same concept of independence, correct?
That's what the human being was given.
Yes.
So the fish in the sea is not called. This is not called bitul.
No. It's it's bitul of the mitzias, not of chochmah. The reason it's a bottle is because it wants to be supported. Human being is bottle not because he wants to be supported. He wants to be like his source, not supported. The fish is totally supported, like I said. The fish, as we said all the time, the fish is always in bed.
In the bed of the sea.
In the bed. The person is in bed, is he bottle? He's in bed, he's not standing on his own. The whole mitzvah is his own mitzvahs.
So what's the difference?
Huh?
So what's the difference? I mean,
He is completely giving himself to the bed to hold him up. Total bitul. Not a mitzvahs.
Well, we've been explained that in the parenthesis that the reason that or can mislavish in the keli is because the source of or is chochmah.
Yeah. Which means the source of the oil is full awareness. Chochmah means seichel, awareness, not just a mitzias. Yislabshus in keli means you islabish in the keli, and there is identity. What is the keli about? This Inyan, to know what it's about, is actually true even in the shoyrash moker of the tzeichel.
It's not only that even, but because of. Is that
Yeah,
the point?
that's what it says. Very good for lifi. Because of the fact that b'shorsh is also bechinas chochmah.
the question, the fish is godly because he's giving God like his own mitzvahs. He's dependent.
He has no mitzias. He doesn't have his own mitzias.
Okay, and the contrary, the human being, he wants to be like his source. That's a bitul.
Yeah.
Why is it bitul?
Okay, let me explain to you what that's bitul. I hope you can understand. The muscle for that, for chochmah, is sight. I'd like you to should understand the Indian from sight, and this itself has also perverted for us because of the stupid explanations. Sight does not require any activity in our heart. It's observing the reality as it is. in order for the human being to accept the reality as it is presented to him, without examining it on his own, requires bitul. I accept the reality as it is. Wait a second, I have to taste it. I have to examine it. I have to test it.
So what's the difference between that and as you said, the ore being mislavish in the keli, it starts to know. You didn't use that word "know," but it starts to sense something about the keli. It has the capacity to sense something about the keli.
Right.
I want to connect this to before. I don't know how to do it, but.
It seems like the difference between the fish and the human being, there's many differences, but the human being is fully aware, cognizant, he is his own metzius, and yet he's bitul. He has bitul to be able to accept within his metzius that which is being given to him.
Just one correction to this. The reason that he is able to have this bitul is because of the truth of his mitzvahs. You understand that concept?
Why is that a significant notch? I'm not sure I understand.
It's not possible to understand a truth that is not existent within yourself. At least that you cannot project such a truth. When we say there's a motzei rishon, which means a motzei without any cause, there has to be an ability in a human being to relate to that. What is the faculty with which a person knows something that has no cause? That's chochmah. I see this. How come I see this? I don't need to. I see it.
That's chochmah, or that's the fact that he's an etzem?
What? Yeah, that. And this chochmah is based on the fact that he's an etzem.
And fish are not. They don't have a true mitzvah. They don't have a true truth to their existence.
That's right.
So that's the real difference: is that the person has a truth to his existence.
Again, I'm trying to understand. It was said before that the person's is different than the fish, because the fish wants support, and the human being wants to stand on his own like his creator. It sounds like he wants to be independent. I mean, what you would say, if you bottle or something, you're not bottling it.
Oh, see, this is the big thing. He is independent, and in his independency, what does that bring him to? To know the truth of his creator. Does not lead him to rebel.
That's because of the truth of his existence.
Yeah, but what's the flow? The being independent is not bitul. So how come it comes afterwards to bitul?
Being independent is a statement of reality. Reality can only be known through bitul. Like I said, in sight. If you're going to examine what you see, then you're not going to see. Do you understand that? Do you follow this?
In order to get
One second, let me explain to you a very simple thing. Lahabi, the dog also sees. Human being sees and the dog sees. What's the difference?
The dog sees what affects it. The human being sees what is real.
The dog, whatever it sees, immediately says, is this something that I like or don't like? It doesn't see its reality, per se. What does it mean to me? All right, let's continue. Yes.
I sort of question your assumption. You just said that sight does not require
Examining.
activity. You said.
Yeah.
So, there's two questioning. Just on a practical view, you have the ability of turning your eyes in a direction or another because you want to see better or because something catches your eye. So in that particular process there's activity. And second, I studied this for some kind of work I produced. In the process of seeing, the scientists isolated certain processes. In other words, the eye being the capturing element. After that capture, there's a whole very complicated process that allows man to see contours, colors, etc. I'm not going to go into details. And then from that, the information is being related to a memory that allows him to identify from before. And from then, it leads him to action eventually. So it's like a fourth step process.
It's not a stupid though, but it's no scientific proponent. It's not a steward to what we said. The process of seeing allows, which was just described, allows you to see the thing as it is. Doesn't mean the whole process doesn't mean because you're trying to figure out what impact and how you can use it. This process is simply a way of seeing this thing as it is. So it's no schema really.
But you say process, but in the process
there is the idea. In the process.
There is
it doesn't mean that's about you.
Yeah.
You still have that bitul component.
But process would mean that you're processing it. That means that you're not seeing a real thing. You're seeing a derivative of the real thing. Because you're applying some kind of process to it.
Saying process is subjective, you're saying.
That's what I think so.
Not that good, but it's a good point.
Okay, well, that's it.
Look at this. After all that, he concluded a different reality. Yes.
No.
Sure, it's been an interesting class, I'll tell you that.
What?
It's an interesting class.
Well, I'm sorry, I got into this because we can't go further, but all right, it's an interesting class.
I mean, there's a lot of basic things.
Yeah, okay, so please understand the following.
Is Baruch still on?
Probably. Let's first go straight to the point. Yes, you see a physical item, and there's all kinds of processes. There's light, through which you see that there is eyes, and you can open your eyes and close your eyes. All these processes, okay. Ultimately, Baruch is still on. Good, very good. Ultimately, what's called at the end of this whole process, you relate to something that is at a distance to you, that you can't even touch if you wanted to. And in some respects, it's not even tangible. They say you look at the cloud. What is a cloud? So they said a beautiful day. What does it mean? It's a beautiful day. At the end of that line, you're relating to something that you're identifying totally internally. Because you know such thing exists.
Again, you're relating to something totally internally, and that's to say accurately.
Yes.
As if to put aside any process that was along the way.
Totally. Let me explain. We started a while ago. I explained. Let me go to the very base of this. We said a long time ago, and everybody should have this, so to speak, in front of their eyes. We said, we are alive physically. Physically means we are alive physically through physical means. We have to breathe. And breathe means also in and out. It would seem that we are making ourselves live because we breathe in and out. And we pointed out, I hope we sense this. Excuse me. If breathing would be dependent on the fact that we breathe in and out, then it would be similar to eating. When do we eat? When we are hungry. Imagine if breathing were of the similar experience. We breathe in when we are gasping for air. Would that be living? Hello? I don't see the reaction, the facial reaction. I'm looking at human beings. What?
No, it would not.
That would not be life.
It'd be horror.
So there is a process, but the process is not initiated by us.
Well, we'll see about that. But it cannot be initiated by the fact that I need air.
That's different than sight.
One second. Do we understand that? It cannot be initiated by us. And that is where life first begins to be identified, real life. What is this, excuse me, life different than if we would breathe in a breath of air because we are gasping for air? We would still be living. Why do we all agree that this is not called life?
It's like this one thing. There's no ups and downs in life itself.
Why not?
But it can be not life.
Okay, what I'm saying, but what if you're gasping for air, you're taking it? Are you gasping for air, you're taking it? Yes, it cannot be. Why not?
When you feel alive. It's not living. Dying and living.
Listen, the fact is that you're surviving.
Well, that's surviving, that's not life.
That's right, that's not life. What defines life?
Branching out.
What?
Branching out in the world. Not just being focused on surviving, on being in one place. Like the tree, like we said, it's not focused on just grabbing onto the earth. It's able to produce the fruit.
Life is being given. Life is being given. It's not faking.
The life is something which is automatic, just like the Eibishter. It has no beginning and end. True breathing has no beginning and end. If you're grasping to air, you're more mitzias. You don't reflect your makol so much.
I know we're going to go in circles, but see if we can focus in on the following. Life is real only if it's there automatically. If it doesn't have to be gained. Anything that comes through gaining it is not life. Life means that there is no threat of it not being there. This is illustrated in many, many things in halacha and so forth. And this is why, how do we in fact, as we discussed many times, how do we in fact maintain a physical life? Physical life that's being given to us. And physically we could be living, and Achmon we could be not living. How then is it maintained that we are physically alive?
Breathing.
Breathing is an action, is in and out.
The air being pushed in.
The source of life keeps us alive, not the living body. The source of life is telling us, live, 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 live.
He gives the command and he gives the means.
He keeps us alive, physically. This is has been so brought down for us to be able to understand to the point that it is translated on the physical world, on the physical level. On the physical level, when you have to breathe in and out, so the Rebbe has created a real life in the physical arena, so that you should know, you're living. But what makes you live? If you had to draw the life, that would not be living. Living means because I'm making you living. That's life.
And how does it put together with the physical being?
It goes together with the physical being. Because in the physical being there's breathing in and breathing out. But the breathing in and breathing out is not dependent on me or me doing anything. It's done for me. The definition of light is that it's done for me. That's the definition of light, of life. That it is done for me. Not that I have to do it. Even though I'm doing it, I'm going through this experience. But it's done for me.
Since all the processes with seeing and everything is done for me.
Oh, that's it. There are this is the experience of life at every level. I can have examples of it, but I think it's sufficient because this is nothing new. We have discussed it many times. Excuse me.
So the chochmah aspect of this is to be aware of this.
Chochmah is that which accepts that which is given. I don't need to examine what you're giving me. That's chochmah. The minute I have to examine, I'm not alive anymore.
It's interesting. Yet there is the necessity to eat.
Huh?
There is the necessity to eat, and there is the
Eating is not life.
examination.
Eating is maintaining the body ability.
But
Life is the breath. That's the experience of life.
So chochmah, when it's not corrupted, is pure acceptance.
That's right. And what is pure acceptance? What is pure presence? Hu lebadi hu ve'ezo losei.
Was said that chochmah doesn't need to be examined. Can it be
Doesn't need to examine,
What,
right?
what would mean if it needs to be examined?
I'm saying. You tell me I should breathe. Let me see. Do I want to breathe it? Do I want to breathe it? No, wait a second. Let me see it. Let me taste it first. Please understand. Now that I got to this, please examine your own experience. When you go outside and you say, a breath of fresh air, what are you referring to? The breath that entered your nostrils, or the breath that surrounds you? Why? But you're only breathing that which is in your nostrils. Because the breath that surrounds you is what made it a breath. Otherwise it would not be a breath, it would be a bite.
And yet it's still biyabasha. There's no examination, no estimation, but it's still biyabasha. Yeah, I mean.
Yes.
This
is why over here we say this is the principle of chochmah. We know what's happening. We know what's happening.
Right. Okay. But there's a kind of a radical acceptance. It's complete.
It's acceptance because in chochmah we know that there is such a thing as a truth, an absolute truth,
right.
And that's what we want.
Right. And the inyan of ein kurin ava ele tam dagan seems to go.
Well, come on.
What?
Can we keep on a limited path?
No, but it just does strike us as breathing is key, fine, but this inyan of eating, or I mean, it's not just body. It seems, or we
One second. Okay, you want to go there? Shlomo Yonason. Okay, you want to go there. So here's the thing. What is the taste of dagan? The Gemara says, what does yitim tam dagan? What does yitim tam dagan mean? Translate.
So we taste the taste of the.
What is the taste?
Yeah, the taste of the grain. What is the taste?
What's the taste of grain?
So the Indian there is he gets something that's, even though it's physical, it rides above the physical.
Okay. Who's a gourmet cook over here? No. Dagan, bread, is unique amongst all the foods that we eat. We can get tired of any food, but you can't get tired of bread. You know why? Because the taste of bread is all-encompassing.
It's like
in bread you have every taste under the sun.
Like the man, like breathing.
Everything. Yeah. If it had any excessive any salt, any sweetness of anything, you couldn't eat it. You know, I'll take one slice and I'm finished.
Rabbi Paltiel?
Yes, Baruch. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm just relating this to what you're saying about chochmah. Chochmah accepts without examination, but it only accepts the pure truth, the whole truth.
That's right. That's why it accepts. That's right, because chochmah recognizes that there is such thing as a pure truth.
Right. So it automatically, if it's chochmah, it accepts the truth, and it rejects anything else.
That's right. And it recognizes the truth.
Recognizes the truth. That's where the bitul is. Also, that it's a pure acceptor, or an acceptor of purity, not of, I don't know what you call it, imperfections in what's coming in.
The truth that exists automatically without being created. Which truth is that? What truth exists without being created?
God's truth.
That truth.
If a person is breathing and what's in the air is pollution, he actually doesn't breathe properly, right? not a breath, like you said, it's a breath of fresh air.
Well, again, we differentiate of the different. What is the truth in the example of the host and the guest?
What is the truth in that example?
Yeah. Can you taste it?
No.
Can you define it?
We say it's the presence of the host.
What is it? All right, we have to. Everybody's going to come up with some other
chochmah.
some other turn. All right. So this is the principle that chochmah recognizes that there is one single truth, and everything flows from that one single truth. This is why after chochmah comes bina. What is the great bina? Bina is a tremendous thing. What's great about bina? Bina is examining everything. The principle of bina is it's examining everything, but it's always referring back to the chochmah. Like we said in the case of bread. Bread, the truth is, whatever a person tastes, I'm going to say something which I hope we will be able to relate to. Whatever a person tastes, ultimately he goes back. Where does that taste come from? How does it relate to the fundamental union of taste, to bread? And when you taste something that doesn't relate to that, he spits it out. It's not real. No, this is not real food.
Well, again, taste depends on the components of the food.
Of the components.
Of the food, no?
Of course.
It's like...
But what is the basic food? Basic food is lechem, is bread. Without lechem, a person cannot live. And if he lives without the food, it's because the other food are derivatives, have an aspect of lechem. And like you said, the chochmah of a person is awakened when it tastes tam dogon. What does tam dogon have to do with that? How is tam dogon? The tam dogon gives him a taste that has no excessive aspect. You can understand, what are you tasting? Why do you like it? What's in this taste? Are you tasting sweetness? Are you tasting sourness? What are you tasting? I'm tasting real food. That's all I can answer. Once you taste real food, and I know there's reality, and the chochmah comes, oh, there's such thing. There's such thing as real. I thought it was only sweetness and sourness.
Is the man, because it says that the man tasted like any food he wanted.
That's right.
So, is there a connection there?
I don't know, you will figure it out. I mean, do we understand this? This is what chochmah is. And only through chochmah are we able to recognize the Motzei Rishon. What's Motzei Rishon? This is the principle of all knowledge. Motzei Rishon is a Motzei that is Rishon, that has no basis for being. If it has no basis for being, how do I know it?
the ore in the keli that has the chochmah quality of acceptance. How is that? Is that because of what does it interact with the keli that there's a truth there? Is there this which the ore brings from chochmah as it dresses in the keli?
One second.
Yeah.
The union that it's behislapshus in a keli. The whole principle of a keli is that you can take a derivative of a truth. A derivative. How can you take a derivative, a part of the reality? The answer is because I have seichel. And I can identify the various parts of what there is.
That seems to be an exercise of the keli itself.
Well, this is why the oil can be mislabish in the keli.
Because the keli has that capacity?
Because the oil has that capacity.
Because you mentioned that the keli can recognize a derivative.
No, the keli is a derivative, and the oil can identify that derivative.
If the ore sees from where the keli came, so to speak, and it has an affinity to it.
Okay. 1 second. We are sitting on a chair.
Yeah.
Okay. The chair is a keli for what?
For you, human being, yeah.
The chair is a keli for human comfort. What is human comfort? How is human comfort related to being a human being?
Comes from the comfort of the truth.
This is based on its dignity. The dignity of the human being should come out from this dignity of comfort.
Very good. Now, if in that dignity element there would be no possibility of identifying aspects, then it could not be mislabish in a cave.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that dignity is such that it can be identified in aspects is because there is a new chochmah right there. Which means that this comfort is not the comfort of the fish in the water. It's a comfort that the human being is aware of this comfort. There's a chochmah element in this. That I open another can of worms. Do you understand what this is?
So
the fish does not become wise by being in the water.
What did you say? I missed it also. What did you say?
The last notch I also missed.
Huh?
I just missed this last piece.
We said that a chair represents
the comfort.
Human comfort.
Okay.
And human comfort is rooted in what the human being is. How is that?
The comfort of the truth. Yes, the truth has comfort.
How is that?
It's not.
Lacks nothing.
Huh?
Lacks nothing.
No, it's like about chochmah.
One second. It lacks nothing. If he likes nothing, where is the concept of comfort coming? How does he know that there is such thing as comfort?
Because he has dignity and he knows he has dignity.
In other words, in this dignity element, he knows it could be yes and it could be not.
Contrast.
It could be, there is chochmah. He's aware of what dignity represents. If he's not aware, then he would not know that there is a sitting and not sitting. The fish does not know that there is sitting and not sitting. The human being demands and he has comfort. But he knows that what he is demanding. And it can be translated into a chair and a bench and a bed and standing up. And it's all coming from the same source. Like all food coming from the bread. That's a new discovery.
That it could be and not be. How does it fit with its completely continuous? It's completely constant.
Oh, who's the answer to that?
What's the question?
We just said it could be, it could not be, talking about dignity a moment ago. At the same time, we have that it's completely continuous. Life itself is without interruption, without examination. It's continuous.
Yeah, but this is the chochmah, but chochmah in a sense is the source that's continuous.
Say it, don't put from out. It's continuous because it's being given to him. And he appreciates the giver, not what he gets.
And likewise at all the lower levels.
And likewise at all the lower levels.
And that's how he's Yabasha, and it could be and it could not be at the same time. It's continuous.
But the giver is there. That's the motivation. That's the truth. He never loses sight of that one.
So here, he's in an environment where there's multiplicity. There's either yes or no. But the chochmah means that he's relating to that which is totally above all of that. It's constant.
Not only is above, but he is giving it to him. Not he's above, but I have to reach up to him. No, he's coming to me. He's telling me, remember, I'm here, don't worry, I'm here with you. What?
And that's what he wants. He wants to be receiving from the giver.
From the giver.
That's why on a practical level, modani is so important.
Yes. Can somebody write up this year? No.
Yeah, I just want to steal what we said in the words of the mind. So is this correct when inferring from the words that the ability to see that disparity, okay, that comes from the awe which is mislavish in the keli. Look at physical things, see the contrast, and realize that there's a much region, but the actual experience of being, like Ross said, this automatic relationship, or the consciousness of the automatic relationship. This is because the makah of the awe is really higher than the keli. That the awe itself is even higher than the keli. So there's two levels. The awe in the
awe is
helps you.
The oil sees only the mokin shayk.
First you go to the first level right of examination, and that allows the true aura. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the reason that it can come down into the keli is because even the shoyrish, it's also chochmah. And he knows, the dasla, he knows what he has. The fish is mamash in the mokin all the time, and he doesn't become wiser by it. Yes.
What said about chochmah? This year, that chochmah is sensitive to the truth, to what's true.
Mm-hmm.
And then was said that chochmah has an awareness because he knows that it could be and could not be.
It means that he does not have it on his own. He has it because it's being given to him.
Not an etzem.
Like the host and the guest. The guest is perfectly satisfied. Not by what he got, by the presence of the host. Should the host leave, he is left with an open mouth.
So we have to know that talk is two things. He's sensitive to the truth, and on the other hand, he is able to be aware because by him there's the option of knowing and not knowing.
That's right. All right. Hasaga b'shoshi u'mekoyrei. What about hasaga b'shoshi u'mekoyrei? The way it is in Shoirish. The way it is in Shoirish. There is what's called the chochmah stimor, the concealed chochmah that has no process at all. Have a great day.